Hey, good afternoon, folks. This is Clay with Clay's AC and Auto Repair and Clay Motion here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and this is the Clay Way. If this video is helpful, please consider subscribing to my page, clicking the notifications down there on the bottom, send me your wonderful comments, share my videos, like my videos, all that jazz. If you got a question for me, I'm happy to answer it if I can. You can look me up on Clay's AC and Auto Repair on Facebook and send me a message. Remember, if anybody else can do it, you can do it too. So what we've got today is a 2010 Jeep Liberty, but this is going to be the same for the 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, maybe even 2013 or 14. And when we turn our radio on and we go to turn our volume up and down, if you're experiencing this problem, it's really kind of wishy-washy if it works. You try to pull out a little bit on there, and sometimes you can get it to go down, but most of the time it doesn't really work. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the radio and we're going to disassemble it a little bit, and I'm going to show you how you can do this at home, and we're going to try to repair this problem. I don't know, if you don't see the video, then I couldn't fix it. Okay, so we're going to kind of start this process as we're going to pull this back, and I gently did that, and that'll pull the trim piece away from there. Now when I was pulling the bottom part, I put both hands, one hand here and one hand here, and I pulled gently away, not breaking the tabs that are on the back that you're going to see in a couple moments. So did that same procedure with one hand here and one hand here on the bottom right hand side. Now we're going to disconnect our wires from the back of our heater control so we can remove the bezel completely out of the way. In order to get the bezel out, we're going to go ahead and put our key in the ignition, remove our vehicle back to neutral, holding our foot on the brake, and then we can remove our bezel, then we can put it back up in park and remove our key. Now we have to push down on the red tab right here to release the main power harness, and push down on the little blue tab right there to release the auxiliary, and we need to undo our electrical connectors for our cigarette lighter. Quite simply just push down on this little tab right here, and then that'll allow that to remove, and then we can move our bezel out of the way once we remove the last electrical connector down here for our four-way switch. Now we're going to go ahead and remove four 7mm screws on the four corners of the radio. Now with our radio removed, we're going to go ahead and remove our antenna connectors from the back of the radio, pushing down on the tab right there on the outside. There. And then there's a tab right here. And then our radio is able to be removed. Okay, so now we're going to remove the faceplate, and it's pretty simple. I just took my fingers and I pulled up on these lips, these little lips. There's like three of them, not these ones, but these three right here. They will hold the faceplate on the top and the bottom. So it's pretty simple. You just pull that up and you'll pull it away, and you see how it kind of catches on these three little clips right there, and then it simply pulls away from there, just almost like a detachable face on your old stereos. Same thing down here on the bottom. It's got three little ribs that hold it on there, and I'll show you that real quick before we disassemble the front of that. Actually, this one has four, my bad. 3, 4, and you can just gently pull it away. You will not break it. Now we're going to remove the T10 screws that hold our circuit board on there. Now don't get all flipped out, all you super electronic guys. This is already broken. We can't break what's already broken, so we're going to take it apart and try to fix it. I don't want to hear your comments about, oh my God, you weren't grounded out and you're done. You know, it's already broken, people. These things are $100 at the junkyard, maybe 50. Not a big deal. So we're going to remove our knobs very easily and be very gentle with it. We're going to use a flathead screwdriver. We're going to go ahead and stick it in the side of here, and as we do that, we're going to use these two fingers to pull up on the knobs themselves to remove it. Not necessarily prying the knob off, just applying pressure to it so we can wiggle it up. Then we're going to go ahead and flip the circuit board over, and if we look down in the corners, once we've got all the T10 screws out, these tabs hold our circuit board down to there. So we're going to pry the tab back, and as we pry back, we are just going to quite simply put a little screwdriver in there and start applying a little bit of pressure working our way around the outside of it. I can't look through the camera and do that at the same time, so now we've got it taken apart, and we could see that it probably needs a new, I think this is called a potentiometer servo. But we can spray some air in there and use some electrical cleaner and spray it in there and get all that gunk cleaned out of there and see if it'll still work. Worst case scenario, it works the same as it did, or it doesn't work at all and you needed a radio before you did this anyways. But the good thing is we got it disassembled. We can spray that and clean it a little bit, maybe with some air and cleaner, and we'll see what we got. Great, we got it all cleaned out. We're gonna go ahead and reassemble it and see if it works. Well, I'm very happy to say that my volume now seems to be working. At least it was working a lot better. I mean, it seems to work perfectly fine, to be honest with you. Hopefully you guys had the same result as I did. I can't promise it would help, but it certainly made a difference for mine. God bless you guys. Please consider subscribing. Remember, don't replace it, repair it, and if anybody else can do it, you can do it too.